Jacob Wetterling's killer has been described as an angry and volatile man.
And tonight we're getting some insight into Danny Heinrich from none other than the head of the local FBI. And Tom Lydon of the Fox 9 investigators sat down to talk with him, and it sounds like the FBI, Tom, had to be pretty careful with him.
They had to be. Imagine not only having to be careful with a guy like this, but also knowing that this may have been the only path to Jacob Wetterling. Investigators knew from listening in on Danny Heinrich's calls from jail that he had a hair-trigger personality, fine 1 minute, flying off the handle the next. So when Heinrich was finally willing to cooperate, it was anyone's guess how long that moment would last.
What creates a Danny Heinrich?
Clearly what you have there is you've got a very narcissistic person who is interested in what he wants right at that very moment without any real concern about what the consequences of the actions could be.
For the FBI, solving the Jacob Wetterling case required a deal with the devil, a man Special Agent Richard Thornton calls petty and temperamental with a mean streak.
An affidavit, or at least for the state search warrant, indicated that where he had his pornography stash was locked in a locked cabinet. And he goes, that cabinet wasn't locked. They're a bunch of lying SOBs.
That kind of erratic behavior meant investigators had to work fast when Heinrich was ready to talk, leading them to Wetterling's remains just outside Paynesville. Fox 9 has learned investigators have also recovered the murder weapon, a gun Heinrich had since given to someone else. Heinrich was a suspect from the start, but it was DNA from the abduction of Jared Shirel 9 months before Jacob's kidnapping that put Heinrich back on the radar a couple years ago.
It gave us very, very high level of confidence that we were looking at somebody that needed to be looked at.
Heinrich himself may have been abused by a family friend, a notorious pedophile, Dwayne Hart, a one-time Wetterling suspect. Heinrich is also suspected in the molestation of 8 boys in Paynesville before Jacob and Jared. And yet the theory is Heinrich suddenly stopped and didn't offend again for 26 years. Perhaps content with the child pornography detectives found in his home.
How confident are you sitting here that there are not other victims?
I think we can only be as confident as we know what we know, and we obviously don't know what we don't know. I think the fact that there aren't other reported cases that happened after Wetterling in the area up there that may have been his final abduction and only homicide, but obviously we don't know that definitively.
Is that unusual for someone like this, a sexual predator, to suddenly stop?
It is unusual at that age. We see serial offenders that stop later in life for a variety of reasons, but for someone to stop in their 20s or 30s is pretty unusual. To say why that was can only speculate, and it is pure speculation to say that the act of murdering Jacob was possibly so traumatic that that forced him to stop. The fear of getting caught is another possibility, but you're right. It is generally unusual for them to stop.
Not only is the killer unusual, the crime remains relatively rare as well. According to a Justice Department study, of the 58,000 children abducted every year, only about 115 children are kidnapped by a total stranger. I asked Agent Thornton if he thought law enforcement and the Wetterlings were satisfied with the plea deal, Heinrich getting 20 years for child pornography but no murder charge. He said everyone wanted 2 things. First, significant prison time, and second, to find Jacob and get answers for the Wetterlings. He believes this deal, guys, did just that.
Well, this was a long time coming, too. 27 years trying to solve this. Does Agent Thornton think there are some lessons that need to be learned from all of this? There have been questions for law enforcement.
And there still will be. He's only been head of the local FBI for about 4 years here, so he doesn't have the long-term perspective. But he believes that there will be lessons, and they're doing kind of an after-action analysis of the entire case as they kind of look at the loose ends. And they're going to be looking at that. Are there things they actually could have done differently? They're going to evaluate them. I asked him about turf battles as well. Did that ever get in the way of all this? And he said, yeah, there were disagreements. There were honest disagreements along the way. He thinks in some ways that added to this, that was kind of a check and balance in this investigation. But ultimately, this was solved by DNA evidence, and specific DNA evidence that was relatively recent in being developed.
And the most important thing of all is that the Wetterlings have Jacob, and they know where he is.
I think people believe that is the ultimate thing here. And everyone talks about Patty Wetterling and the Wetterling family, that this getting answers is what everyone really wanted.
Right. All right. Thank you, Tom.